up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Good evening, everybody. What's going on? Happy early Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You are tuned in to the Drive-In Speaker Box podcast. That's right. If you've downloaded this or you're tuning in live or doing whatever it is you're doing, if you're escaping the family post, like shoveling mouthfuls of moist, juicy, delicious turkey and gravy and stuffing, and you wanted to like say, what's going on in the world of cinema? What's playing in the movie theater this weekend so we can get the family out? You're not going to hear any about that for at least another 15 minutes, but stay tuned. We will tell you all of that stuff because that's what we do. I'm your host, the Boom Operator.
I'm Slick Doggy, the Grip.
And yeah, it's Thanksgiving week, man. It means we are officially in the quote-unquote holiday season. I almost put up some Christmas decorations up here.
Before Thanksgiving?
Well, I've gotten used to it. Like, I was one of those people for the longest time that was like, thou shalt not decorate for Christmas before November 24th, on the day of our Lord. And then, like, I just gave up. I was like, okay, well, Black Friday is Christmas. There's already Christmas music playing. There's already Christmas decorations out at the store. So it might as well be like Thanksgiving dinner is like the amuse-bouche of Christmas. You're just like, oh yeah, that's right. I got to remember how to cook again. I can't just Uber Eats everything. And it's the official kickoff of the holiday season. I mean, we're already decorated with Christmas stuff at Pinpoint. That's true. So it's the Christmas bar, which you came out to the other day. So.
I did. Yeah, it looks good in there.
What was your favorite booth?
Crap, you're asking me about something from like days ago.
Oh, geez.
I looked at all of them twice.
I figured Die Hard would be an easy one.
I like the Die Hard booth. Yeah, because, you got like the Hans, like fake ID, everything.
My favorite detail of the Die Hard booth is the fire hose that I kind of spread around like tinsel.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which one I did like best.
Peanuts.
Yeah, the Peanuts one's cool.
Or Velvet Santa on Twitch wants me to do an Ernest Saves Christmas booth.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's hard though. Like when you're designing like one of these little installations, you have to think about like, okay, what are people going to recognize? What are people going to connect to? Am I going to be able to find any merchandise and or create iconic things from the film that become, recognizable to a guest? Like, for example, there's not a whole lot of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation like merchandise out there, right?
What?
There is in the past couple of years. Like you can get like sweaters but not like play sets and things like this. So things that I would do is like, okay, well, I have a toupee hanging up in there because people remember that.
Yeah,
and
I
a squirrel.
I think that one's my favorite because you printed off the
Jelly of the Month Club.
The Jelly of the Month Club, and it says like in lieu of anything worth a crap, you get this Jelly of a Month thing, and then the toupee and all that stuff.
A sled with the bottom burned out, which I made that, but it's like iconic things that people can see and go, oh, yes, of course.
We watch that every year. My family does. We watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for Thanksgiving and then Christmas Vacation for Christmas.
Mark Landry on YouTube says, we got the Wally World glassware for eggnog. I have plastic ones, and they were hanging from the ceiling. We had 4 last year. Now we have 3. Thanks, thieves. And they're the plastic ones. Just go buy it. Just go get your own. But Velvet Santa says on Twitch that Jelly of the Month clubs are actually very expensive. Depends on your jelly. Like, what are they
Smuckers?
Like?
Are they a year's worth of work at a big company bonus expensive because you promised your family a pool so that the lingerie or perfume sales lady can come swim in it.
Show her toddies.
Yeah.
Is the thing to say. Oh, I love that song, by the way. That is one of my favorite Christmas songs. That's the island greeting that they send to you from the land where palm trees sway.
The only time I've ever heard that song is in Christmas Vacation.
Or at Pinpoint on Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll play it. But anyway, this weekend there are some movies coming out. It's it's a big time for movies. It's when people save up all of their bigger movies to add to the release schedule because they know that people are going to be indoors. It's cold. They're with family. They need something to do, so they go out and see movies. So we're going to tell you what's coming out in theaters this weekend here in just a moment. But let's talk about what happened over the past week and some change. So I know you've got a list over there. I'll let you jump in, Jay.
Well, one of the most exciting things here is that there is a image from on set of Beverly Hills Cop 4. Yeah, Beverly Hills Axel Foley.
Let me.
So there's
Do you have a picture?
yeah, I can pull one up
Here,
for you.
I'll see if I can find it. Here, you keep talking.
Well, there you go. So it's not Empire released the image. It's not anything special, but it's Axel in his like classic outfit. So I guess he just doesn't really change. But he's, of course, it's taking place now. They're supposed to be returning people. Judge Reinhold and Bronson Pinchot are.
He looks photoshopped in this.
He might be. Who knows? They're coming back, so that'll be fun to see them. But it's supposed to be Eddie Murphy has a new partner, which is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't know how I feel about that part of it, but
yeah, it's been a while. I do like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, but Bronson Pinchot being in there is something I'm excited about because he's still working in Beverly Hills, like same as Axel. And Judge Reinhold's going to be in it. So, I mean, has Judge Reinhold made his way like up the ranks? Is he like the captain now or whatever?
He'd better be.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's something I'm excited about. Another movie that had a little teaser image released this past week was the Nosferatu remake.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well. I mean, Robert Eggers, if there's anybody that's going to do it, I think he's going to do it, and I think he's going to do it well.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that vampires are coming back around right now. We've had a few movies this year try to sink their teeth into the whole vampire thing. We had the movie that nobody really saw. I really enjoyed it, but it was the Nicolas Cage one where it was I cannot believe Renfield.
Yeah,
saw that in the theater and thought it was pretty fun. And The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which had a friend of mine that I work with, he messaged me and said he actually got to check it out finally, and he's like, man, that was actually a pretty good little vampire movie. And I go, I know, right? So Nosferatu, I think I'm looking forward to it. I think it said 2024, no announced date.
Yeah, it's one of those things. They have that little teaser image for it just to keep you where you're thinking about it from time to time. Nothing big. You don't even get to see him. It's like this lady scared and Nosferatu's hand like coming to grab her. And then other things just coming back from out of nowhere. They've announced that there's going to be another Bourne movie.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Supposed to be a Jason Bourne movie. Matt Damon's not signed on for it yet, but they are going to.
Well, they can't get Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, they're going to be in talks with Matt Damon. Why can't they get him?
He had that super accident with the snow plow.
Yeah, but he went on talk shows a while back, and he was moving and walking around. He broke both of his arms in that Tag movie. And
I don't think he's going to be Jason Bourne.
Who knows, man? I don't know. But yeah, so it's being directed by the guy that did All's Quiet on the Western Front. Other than that, no one else is 100% signed on yet. So they're supposed to talk to Matt Damon to see if he comes back for that one. Also, franchises that are just super old. Creed 4 was confirmed in a Deadline interview with Irwin Winkler, the man that Sylvester Stallone truly hates because he took everything and gives nothing. But he did say there's going to be a Creed 4 to be the 10th entry into the franchise. I don't know how Michael B. Jordan feels about that, or after the last movie where Creed was already retired and then came out of retirement to fight, Sex Predator Marvel Man.
Oh yes, that one.
Yeah, and then retired again.
Maybe that's why they're wanting to make another Creed, because they're like, we gotta shake this nasty light away.
They had him retire in like 2 movies, and I guess the only thing, or they set up the story for his daughter to be a boxer in it, so it might be him being the Rocky figure and teaching his daughter after only 3 movies.
This seems like a Mobius strip of just like, let's just repeat the story on and on and on and on and on. I don't know.
And then another thing, pulling an old franchise out of nowhere, Disney released a image for their Omen prequel, the first Omen.
Like Damien the Omen?
Yep.
And this is a Disney property now?
Well, Disney owns Fox, and if Fox owned it or whatever.
So do we need a pre-Omen?
I don't know. Disney's
So
horror movies have not been doing great.
Instead of like an evil child, is it just going to be like an evil fetus? Now, like how far back are we going to go?
That I don't know. The image is just like a nun.
It's about
in
the
front
Antichrist,
of like this
though. Church
setting or whatever, Yeah, I mean, it's not anything big either, but there is going to be a Omen prequel brought to you by Disney.
And it's just called Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, but it's just the arching thing over the castle, and it has like the Jiminy Cricket song playing, and then it goes into like Omen. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Oh man.
And then talking Disney and franchises, of course there's some Marvel news here with the sinking of the Marvels.
It had one of the, I think they said, the largest week-to-week drop-off of any comic book movie that Disney has ever done.
Yeah, because the only people that watched it were the people forcing themselves to watch it. And the second week, everyone's like, forget it. Don't waste your time. Because
it dropped off 78% from last week. 78.
Yeah. Its initial reported budget was like $270 million, and then it swelled up from there, and that was before advertising. So, yeah, the Marvels is probably, 350, and they got hundreds of millions to go before even thinking about profiting.
I feel like this is where they need to start taking stock of Endgame, but not like Avengers Endgame, but like MCU Endgame. Like, where's the exit strategy to go? We're gonna park this Mack truck in this little garage and stop for a second.
Yeah, well, unlike DCEU comes to an end with Aquaman 2 releasing here soon. But like DC, when Gal Gadot was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to be in the regular DCU.
Yeah.
I'm not being left behind in DCEU. We're in talks. We're going to make all these movies. And then DC was like, whoa, I don't think so. Shut your mouth, because you're not part of it. Brie Larson has been interviewed and said that, she can't really say, but there's definitely plans for Miss Marvel. That's what Carol Danvers was for many, many years. Forgot the empowerment. Captain Marvel will be returning. And she's going to be involved in projects. And
she's probably going to return, like most of these characters, in advertisements for like Wheaties, and then as a special guest on the Loki show or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like these standalone movies are. They need to stop. They just stop.
Yeah, she has the confidence that Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, will return because there's more to her story and stuff like that. I hope it goes the same way, where Marvel's like, shut up, it didn't work, you failed, you're gone. But also Iman Vellani, the girl that plays Miss Marvel, stretchy Miss Marvel, not a real Marvel, but Miss Marvel that no one has ever liked in any iteration or whatever. She was in an interview, and they asked her about the budget and the failing of the Marvels, and she goes, I'm not worried about that crap. That's for Bob Iger. Who cares? I can't worry about things I can't control, but I'm proud about this movie, which is like...
That's a pretty cool response.
It is, but it's sad that Disney's like, you better say you like it, you know?
I made a movie. Whatever. Go see it.
But, you know, unfortunate product for those involved in that. And then also talking about those comic book movies and people that they did not do well for. Zack Snyder talked about his Rebel Moon movie and series combo. I think it's like 2 movies in a series, right? Yeah. He's already has his plans, and I guess made the director's cuts or big plans for those.
It's in there, so they're like 10 hours long.
They're going to be at least an extra hour long and R-rated.
Hell yeah.
So getting
like
way ahead of themselves on this.
Kind of like, so in the pre-show on Twitch, for those of you that like and subscribe over on Twitch, we were talking about The Last Action Hero for a little bit there. And Jake over here was like, "Well, the movie's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's stupid." And I'm like, when's the last
I should
time?
start talking like that. That's just stupid. It's so
just
stupid. That's the stupidest thing I heard in my life.
and I was like, man,
Show yourselves, people that like Last Action Hero.
Action Hero
Show
fan.
yourselves. That's stupid. Is that how we're talking now?
It's the rest of the show. We're just gonna be 2 Arkansans reviewing. Let's just ham into our southernness and be like, man, come on, dude, this is stupid. But I was telling him, it's like the movie kind of stands up the test of time, and when we're just been bombarded with so much crap over the past decade and a half. You go back and you watch something that you thought was kind of garbage, and you're like, oh, wait, that was really good. And that's kind of like Zack Snyder movies for me. Like a lot of Zack Snyder movies at the time, I was like, oh, God, here we go, comic book, blah, blah, blah. But then you go back and you watch, like, the Snyder cut, and you're like, you know, it wasn't really that bad, actually. This is pretty good.
I'm just telling you, man, there was, around that same time, he did Eraser, which was sick. And he did...
Are we still talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, dude, we're talking about Schwarzenegger. He did this one right here.
Yeah, Turbo Man.
Christmas right here.
Sucker Punch. Okay, Velvet Sand on Twitch says Sucker Punch was hot garbage. Sucker Punch was an experiment for sure, because that was that time period where it was like the World of Tomorrow or whatever, that movie that came out was like. It was all CGI. It was like green screen the whole time. And then everybody's like, we all have to do like green screen movies now. And then like Sin City was all green screen and Sucker Punch was all green screen.
Yeah, but Sin City worked.
Yeah, Sin City did work.
Because everyone was like, oh, it looks like.
And then what was that like kind of pseudo sequel to Sin City that was all in the black and white with like.
There was a sequel to Sin City.
Oh, I guess it was. Sin City 2. Yeah, what was that sequel to Sin City? But
hey, Rod, what's that song where the grandma gets run over by a reindeer?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Grandma gets run over by a reindeer? No.
But yeah, you know, Last Action Hero, if we're going back to that, people in the comments are talking about Arnold movies that they like. True Lies, of course, amazing.
Oh, The Spirit did come out.
But Last Action Hero, man, give it a revisit. It's
I'll watch it. I'll find it and I'll watch it. But
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The Spirit, so Velvet Santa on Twitch says The Spirit. That's the one that I was thinking of.
Maybe I'll just do a rundown of like the best Arnold movies of the 90s. Like T2 and Eraser and Jingle All the Way and what else Arnold was in the 90s?
Man, all of it. True Lies is really the only one you need to watch.
Yeah, True Lies.
Running Man
was
that was
90s.
in the 80s, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Batman and Robin.
Everybody chill.
Freeze.
Well, and that's another one. You go back.
I actually really like Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze.
Well,
everyone's like, oh, he just hits the one-liners and stuff. It's like, yeah, but that's what you want, dude.
That is more of what I'm talking about here. Like these Marvel movies have gotten so bad. We go back and we watch Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, and you go, dude, this movie's actually cool.
End of Days is not bad, Beelzebubba Ding Dong, because it was like
Oh, that's where he like
it was
beeps out with
Constantine.
Satan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like Constantine before Constantine. It was weird, and if you weren't ready for it, you'd be like, "What am I watching? Like Arnold fighting Satan?"
Who was the guy that played the? Because somebody had mentioned Cool World in the comments, but the guy in Cool World was the bad guy in
Velvet Santa. Yes, Batman and Robin is better than the Christopher Nolan movies. There's only one good Christopher Nolan Batman. It was Batman Begins.
That one was
I
good.
like Batman Begins.
Gabriel Byrne. That's the guy I was thinking of. Gabriel Byrne, who was the bad guy in End of Days.
Yeah, End of Days is a weird movie.
But Gabriel Byrne was also in Cool World, which I think Night Owlishly on Twitch was talking about, thinking it was Toon World, which was like the R-rated Roger Rabbit that had like Brad Pitt in it.
Cool World is one of those movies where you remember it and you're like, dude, Cool World was sick. And then you go back and you watch it and you're like,
You go, Cool World.
maybe
was sick.
Cool World isn't it
I
as
liked
sick.
Cool World.
I do too. I'm not saying it's bad, but when you go back
It's
and
a weird
rewatch
movie.
it, you're like, it's not as good as I remember it being. You know,
The thing that sells Cool World to me had a
is,
fantastic soundtrack.
was it Claudia Schiffer?
No, but it was the fact that I'm always been a huge Ralph Bakshi fan. Like I really, really appreciate him as an animator and an artist, and that was like Ralph Bakshi making a sort of Hollywood movie, because for years he had never really done Hollywood palpable movies. He's like, all right, fuck it, we'll make a Roger Rabbit, but check it out, it's going to be like Ralph Bakshi Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, and the video game was impossible.
Oh yeah, no way. In those buildings with the mouths.
Kim
and I'm like,
Basinger. Yeah.
That's a cool.
She was in Batman too.
She wasn't Batman.
Yeah, she was the
All roads eventually lead back to the Joel Schumacher Batman movies.
Well, she was in the first one. She was in Tim Burton. She was in Batman because she was the Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale, yeah. Vicky Vale. Heavy Traffic, as James on Facebook says, was good. Yes, it was. Anyway, yeah. Do you have any more other news while we continue to
I think that's all the interesting.
spiral into
Yeah, I think
nostalgia?
that's everything interesting. Everything else is just like people trying to hype up the next Hunger Games movie or
which
whatever.
is in theaters right now, and you can see it if you want to. Well, yeah, okay. Well, let's talk about what is coming in.
Did it come-
in
I
theaters.
didn't-
It came out last weekend.
I didn't see it on the theater listings.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It made $44 million at the box office this last weekend.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude.
Because I ended up
Well,
watching.
you were asleep last week.
Way to call me out, bro. I watched Tiger 3 to talk to everyone about for last week.
Great. Way to remind you.
Yeah, so I'll hit y'all up with some of that. But I watched Killer on Netflix because
The Killer, or just like
Yeah,
the Chow Yun Fat?
no, the one with Michael Fassbender.
Oh, yes. Thanks for the sub, Fierce Apology.
You sure that I didn't see it on any of the listings because Trolls was like the only movie that was
Yeah, it's playing at AMC.
not
you can
weird. Oh,
Yeah, there it is. Right
you're
there.
right. I must have just rolled right past that when I was looking at the.
Well, coming out in theaters this weekend. Out in theaters right now, if you weren't up to date, Thanksgiving, the Eli Roth horror movie's out currently. Trolls Band Together came out last weekend, and The Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, as well as Next Goal Wins, which is the Taika Waititi Searchlight picture that came out. That's getting pretty good reviews.
Also with Michael Fassbender.
Oh, yeah. Also with Michael Fassbender. But this weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, we've got 3 movies that are hitting. One's probably going to be on that kind of expanded release indie circuit. It might not come to your small town theater if you're home for the holidays or whatever. But that is Dream Scenario, and you may have seen the trailer to this one. It's from director Christopher Borgli. It's about this guy, this hapless family man played by Nick Cage, kind of finds his life turned upside down when millions of strangers across the planet start seeing him in their dreams, kind of like a not so horrific Freddy Krueger.
Well, but in the trailer though, that's the whole thing. It flips and becomes that way,
becomes
and
weird.
then everyone starts taking it out on him in like real life or whatever, right?
Yes. So
Because like, get out of my dreams, quit like quit trying to cut my dick off in my dreams, Nicholas, like Nick Cage, and he's like, oh, I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, I've heard that this is pretty good, and I do want to see it. I think it might be hitting theaters near us.
We've been getting the weird Nick Cage movies in the theaters. I tried to watch one of them like a month or two ago for everyone.
Which one?
And it was the one where his daughter comes to visit him, and he's like assassin CIA type character.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember the name of that one either.
The speakers were blown in the theater, and they refused to move it to one of the empty theaters for me.
You always seem to have the worst luck.
That's true. Yeah.
But Dream Scenario coming out in theaters this weekend. Also coming out in theaters this weekend, the new Disney animated, which is not Pixar, but Disney animation, which is getting harder and harder to tell the difference because the animation styles are getting so similar. You made a.
Well, that's because did I
gesture.
mention when I was talking about the news that Chris Pine said that I did say that there is that he's heard word that they are going to make a D&D 2, but no one's asked him to do anything for a Star Trek 4 yet.
Well,
He did that in his interview circuit for this movie.
Don't care about Star Trek 4. Definitely want to see another D&D
The
movie.
D&D movie's good. Yeah, I don't want any more of the
new Trek
new Trek is
whack.
turds.
But Wish is the new film that has the voice of Chris Pine, Alan Tudyk, of course, because he's in everything, because he is an amazing voice talent. But it follows this young girl named Asha who wishes on a star and gets a more direct answer than she bargained for. And a troublemaking star comes down from the sky to join her, and hijinks ensue. And there's magic and family and diversity. And
Harvey Guillen's in it?
Harvey Guillen is in it, and he is always hilarious. But yeah, you will get everything that the family asked for, and hopefully it will brainwash whatever child you take into wanting those toys. And it will be you'll have birthday parties surrounded by Wish memorabilia, and it'll be a whole new thing. We'll see. I don't know. Because that's what Disney's trying to do with these movies, right? Disney's not like going, what we really need to do is we really need to make a movie about a young girl that wishes upon a star. And it's like, okay, they've fucking done this a million times, but what they're doing is we need to make another movie exactly like all these other movies that appeals to this generation of people so we can sell them more shit. And then they hit all the ideas, and then they land on one, and then this is the current one. So...
Travis Eddings over on Facebook pointed out something that I saw the other day. Yeah, Alan Tudyk will be here local to us for Comic-Con in a couple months.
I feel like they have a Comic-Con every day now.
No, they just advertise it for 7 months leading up to it.
Because, like every time I tear down one poster, they bring me a new one to put up. And I'm like, did we not just have a Comic-Con?
Yeah, because there's the Little Rock one, and then the Northwest Arkansas one, and then there's the anime one, and then there's probably, there's a handful.
As James on Facebook says, Disney literally made movies about toys. Yes, to sell you toys. Like that's where the money is, guys. Merchandise. That's what George Lucas taught all of us. That was his gift and punishment to the world.
Oh, I forget what it is, but they gave a release date to the documentary that's made about the Star Wars Christmas special. It's called like A Disturbance in the Force.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's a documentary
that.
about the Christmas special. So George Lucas is probably going to have an aneurysm.
He's going to roll over on that giant goiter neck.
Wouldn't it be funny if they were like, yeah, it's a documentary about the Christmas special, and then they show the entire Christmas special.
And that's
like,
the documentary completely.
Yeah, just like put in 4K, and it looks amazing because they found like the one unmessed up copy of it somewhere, and they've just been sitting on it, and they release it. And George Lucas is just like, because it has Itchy and Malatabuck and Chewie's whole family, and
Was it? Is it Life Day?
yeah,
That they celebrate.
that's what Beelzebub Ding
So
Dong
I
did.
feel like maybe at Pinpoint next year I need to do a Life Day booth.
Furious
Where it's
says
like
that it already happened.
Life Day?
No, the The thing. The
Aired on November 17th, 1978. That's when it originally aired. Yeah.
You sure?
That's what the Wikipedia I'm looking at says.
Oh.
Originally aired on November 17th, 1978 in CBS. Yeah, the Star Wars Holiday Special. I mean, you can watch it on YouTube now. Like, it's, I mean, yeah, it's like right here. You know, boom, there you go.
It's been 20 years since I've seen the whole thing.
Yeah, it's right. All in its 1 hour and 19-minute glory with no commercials. Yeah, check it out. Star Wars, Christmas is Star Wars, but we can't say Christmas, so instead we say Life Day. So what the hell is going on? Hang on, let me. Ooh. So get some drugs, and let's watch that. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing that. So let's see. Other movie. We have one other movie that we need to talk about.
The big one.
The big one that's coming out. Ridley Scott. Produced by Apple. Which is going to hit Apple Plus after it hits theaters. Napoleon. Like, dude, Joaquin Phoenix. Vanessa Kirby. Rupert Everett. I mean, you've got some cool people in this. You've got a good director that is known for attentions to details, and I am very excited about this movie because the Napoleon story is really interesting anyway. And if you don't know anything about Napoleon, then do yourself a favor and, like, the dude was a lunatic and almost took over the world.
I wonder if they're going to have in the movie where they just shove him on that island.
Ellis?
Like, how far?
It is Ellis Island, right?
That's where.
No, not Ellis
immigrants come
Island.
to
The
United States.
no. It's the Chateau de whatever. They kept all the marquise there, and they kept Bonaparte. Elba. I knew it started with an E. Elba. That's right.
I wonder how much
Thank
of
you,
his
nerds.
life this will really cover.
Hopefully it's a bunch of it, but you know, I think that it's kind of going to focus on a lot of his relationship with Josephine, as what the trailer and the tagline says. But I'm here for it, man, because I know Joaquin Phoenix is going to do a great job in this role because he's just weird enough to, like, do roles like this and do it justice. So as Night Owlishly said on Twitch, Joaquin plays crazy so well because he's not playing.
Yeah, but they're probably going to skip my two favorite parts of Napoleon's history, which is where he was hanging out with the assassins from Assassin's Creed or whatever, or, like, you know, and then when he went to the 80s and, you know, conquered the Ziggy Piggy.
The Ziggy Piggy in San Dimas, California.
Yeah. Oh.
Merde.
Yeah, because he can't go down the slide anymore.
At Waterloo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the chapter.
They'll probably skip that part.
But that's the best chapter. That's the best adventure Napoleon had gone on. But anyway, that's coming out in theaters this week. And it's under 4-hour runtime. So, whoa. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes, which I think is appropriate for a historical biopic-esque sort of tale.
They got it down to 2.5 hours.
2 hours, 38 minutes.
Wow.
And
because there was always the talk about it being forever long.
Well, and I feel like 2 hours and 30 minutes is like the max runtime some of these kind of movies should be. I don't want a 3 hour and 3.5 hour movie unless it's Seven Samurai, and even then I'm like having to take a minute, you know.
Seven Samurai doesn't feel like it's that
It
long.
does not feel like that, but still it's long, and you know, a basic fun off the cuff narrative should be 88 to 93 minutes. Like, that's the sweet spot.
90-minute movies. Oh, Netflix has a section now of 90-minute watches.
What?
Yeah, they have it was on there last
that's
night or the
awesome.
day before when I was watching it. It was 90-minute movies.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Because that's the perfect runtime.
that's a good runtime.
I just get chills thinking about it. You can go home and be like, you want to watch this movie real quick? Yes, I do want to watch a movie. Now, if like you want to watch a movie, you're like, well, what are you doing the next 6 hours? Because we got to prep and it's gonna be long, so we need to have snacks. And we get 90 minutes. Pop that sucker in, watch it, go on with your day, man.
That's true.
Once upon a time, I used to be able to watch movies before the show. I could just go crank out a movie on Monday and be like, no problem, hour and a half. And now it's like 2 hours, 98 minutes.
Dude, 90-minute movie, you can even hold a pee for that long if you need to.
The James on Facebook said D&D was 134 minutes.
Was
felt
it
short.
really?
It
did feel
short. It did feel short because it was a caper
And it was
and
paced
an
well.
adventure, and it was paced well. D&D's a great movie. Need to watch that again. But yeah, as Beelzebub Ding Dong said, I'm just going to call you Beelzebub. The feature length used to be 60 to 70 minutes, like that hour. But the 90, so good. But anyway, Napoleon coming out in theaters this weekend. You can check it out. We're probably going to see that or Dream Scenario this weekend. If I got time, I'm gonna check those out. So, yeah. All right. Well, we've got 15, 20 minutes left. I didn't see a movie this week. I wanted to go see Thanksgiving, but
I figured you were gonna watch one of the Holiday Knife or whatever it was. It's a Wonderful Knife.
Wonderful Knife. I tried to, and then the weekend just got away from me.
So that's why
it was Lights of the Ozarks on the Square and all that stuff, you know. So,
well, fortunately for everyone, back on Diwali, I watched Tiger 3, the sequel in the Yash Raj Films,
which is
Spy Universe,
which was the number 11 movie in the country. Might I add?
It's done really well overseas. It is the sequel to the Tiger series, Ek the Tiger, Tigers in the High. Also, you have in that War.
So you're telling me Tiger 3 is the sequel to Tiger 2?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
But it's also the sequel to
Tiger 1.
War and Pathan.
Okay.
And Pathan was that not the most recent Shah Rukh Khan movie, Jawan, that was so big, but the one before it that was huge. And Pathan surprised everyone by having an appearance of Tiger come in it. Dog, you're joking, but I'm being for real.
I mean, a surprise Tiger?
Dude, I was in the theater. I jumped. Everyone was whooping. Everyone was having a great time when Tiger showed up.
How many people were in the theater with you?
These movies gain a big audience. Tiger 3 had a big audience. The whole theater was full. Pathan, same thing. But yeah, the Yash Raj film Spy Universe, this one is the first one that brings in all of them, because Pathan didn't really touch on anything that was in war, and war didn't ever talk about Tiger, but in this movie you get to see Pathan. It's been out 2 weeks. I feel like I can say that.
Oh, spoiler alert,
dude!
For those at home,
dude, Shah Rukh Khan's entrance as Pathan is so good, and they have an extended action scene. It's sick. This movie is so much fun. And then you get a little taste of war at the end of it. A little bit of Hrithik Roshan showing up. So you get the biggest movie stars on the planet all in one movie together. This movie was great. It's action-packed. It's a good sequel to the other Tigers and world building. It brings back characters from the very first Tiger movie. So you see characters from Tiger all the way up to Pathan, all in this one. It brought it all in. It did a very good job. I liked everything about it. It was a fantastic time. Definitely recommend. You don't even have to know anything about Tiger or Pathan or war going into this. The war sequence at the end you might not really get, but everything else they kind of touch back on what brought them up to this point. It's great. Salman Khan kills it. Shah Rukh Khan kills it. It's great. It's a good movie.
This time it's personal.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, it's so good. They bring in the old characters. There's action. There's comedy. There's very little song and dance in it. It's great. Go watch it.
And how long is it?
It's only like 2 hours.
Oh, okay, that's pretty.
Yeah,
short.
it's not very long. It felt pretty quick too. They keep you going with like action scenes and stuff like that.
Well, there's a lot of explosions in the trailer.
Yeah, I mean it's like Mission Impossible,
Yeah, I mean it looks like it.
dude. It's like Indian Mission Impossible. It's very good. I really liked it. So and then for this week, what I watched for everyone was The Killer on Netflix. It is 2 hours long, and even though we were just talking about how nice a 90-minute runtime is, this is a very slow-paced movie, right?
I've been wanting to see this one too.
Everything's done very deliberately, and Fassbender just talks very low the whole time, and it starts out as
Do you remember that movie, The American, with
Yeah.
George Clooney?
yeah,
Kinda
it's kind of like that. Yeah, where he's on an assassin job. And then ends up having to defend himself or whatever. That's kind of how this is. It starts out, the whole movie is him talking about being an assassin, being a killer, the world that is, how he survives through it and got to stay calm and all this stuff. And he creates a mantra and repeats it through the movie. But of course, at the beginning of the movie, things go awry. It's his first ever missed kill or whatever, and so then people come for him. They accidentally hurt his girlfriend, and then it becomes a revenge movie. And it was advertised as like a thriller, The Killer, the thriller. But
Of course.
it's not really a thriller. It's a slow moving, very deliberate action
I like
revenge movie.
Slow assassin movies.
It does not feel like 2 hours. They pace this one very well with how they do that. So you have those long periods of being calm. And he even says at the beginning of the movie, if patience isn't your thing, this isn't for you. And that might kind of apply to the movie a little bit. But
Velvet Santa on Twitch says, sounds kind of like Gross Point Blank.
I don't know about that.
Gross Point Blank is definitely not a slow hitman. That is a fast-paced hitman comedy, romantic comedy with hitmen.
Yeah. Beelzebub Ding Dong says it looks like I've visited the Punjab. I've gone to Punjabi Kitchen, local to us.
Local place.
Yeah, it's very good. This movie is actually it's pretty good. It is a lot kind of like The American. Now that
Which I
you're
really
saying
like
it.
that movie. I like that movie a lot.
Because I was thinking it was kind of like John Renault's what's that?
Professional.
It's kind of like The Professional at a time, but then it turns into like revenge movie. Which is fantastic. I love revenge movies. I can watch the Death Wish series all day. In fact, I have done that before. So I really liked it too. It's pretty entertaining, especially for like just a Netflix movie that you can just find and watch without it being on the big screen. I think it would have been great on the big screen, kind of like an Equalizer 3 type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's fun and it's easy to watch at home. So I definitely recommend that. If you want to go out to the theater, nothing new is interesting you, Tiger 3 is great. If you want to stay at home and watch something, or you want to
Go out to the cinema.
Yeah, you can watch The Killer because it was actually pretty good. And Michael Fassbender,
He's good.
Yeah,
I like watching
him in a role like this. Not being like a Magneto or not being however colorful of a character he is in the.
It reminds me of the character he played in the Prometheus films, where he's like the robot, or
He's
the
very much like the
synthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it kind of just that little bit of evil in him too, because he's like a ruthless killer dude. And dude, the ruthlessness and the lethality is pretty sick. Like,
I might watch that tonight.
yeah, it's worth it for sure.
Well, okay, guys. Well, let's move on to our final segment of the show. If you guys have joined us before on the podcast, you will know that the last bit of news and information we give you is the box office roundup. The box office roundup encompasses all the money that you guys have spent in the movie theater over the past week. As reported, domestic numbers is generally what we talk about because that's what they want. Have you been reading all the reports about how people are getting so unsatisfied with like streaming and movie? They're missing physical media, and that some people are predicting that physical media and like DVDs may come back like vinyl did.
Wow, that'll make Best Buy feel stupid.
I think it will.
Yeah.
But I think Best Buy is already going to be out of business in the next couple of years. Like, well, we will see.
We both like physical media. I like having 4K, Blu-ray, and all that stuff. I like to have the best sound and picture that I can have at home if I'm going to watch a movie at home. I want the nearest the theater experience that I can afford. So
and you can't get that on streaming.
Yeah, I think physical media is good. And no matter what they say, like streaming in 4K does not look the same as playing it from the disc. Just because the
doesn't sound the same either.
Yeah, the bandwidth's just not there to make that happen.
All right. Well, okay. It is time to jump into the box office. Got a couple of gobble gobbles and happy Thanksgivings hitting up in the chat.
Yeah, hey Jane.
Velvet Santa said some lucky people got some drive-in speaker box VHS this weekend.
I was seeing pictures. It all looked really good.
And somebody is probably at home, like, hopefully pausing on, like, I don't know, like scrambled porn, just watching us in their living room.
That makes it sound like one of those things where he did the AI of us doing the
fake
dick pill ads. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, the top 10 movies in America. I'm going to turn it over to Jake. He's going to tell you what made money. So let's start with number 10.
We'll start with number 11 right there, dropping out of the top 10 because it was in there last week. Tiger 3 in the U.S. made $1 million. $4.5 million brought in its 2 weeks out in the U.S. Not bad for a Hindi movie here in the U.S., but I've read that it's doing really well overseas. And then coming in at number 10, dropping from the 5th spot, Killers of the Flower Moon brought in just under $2 million this past week, bringing its domestic take over a month.
It left a lot of theaters this past weekend.
Yeah, it's just over $63 million in the U.S. Not at all the kind of money that they were wanting to get from that thing. But it's also Oscar bait type stuff too. So it's going to...
I think it's going to be one of those movies that around Oscar time we'll see a resurgence.
It'll be back in the theater, and it'll make money, and everyone's like, well, look at this coming out of nowhere. And then at number 9, also dropping from the top 5, Priscilla. $2.3 million brought in by it. In its 1 month out in the theaters has brought in just under $17 million. Not bad for a movie that was advertised way less than Killers of the Flower Moon. And then just above it, opening in the number 8 spot, the Taika Waititi, Michael Fassbender movie, Next Goal Wins, $2.5 million brought in by that one from Searchlight. Just above it, The Holdovers at number 7, $2.7 million brought in by the Paul Giamatti movie there. Its domestic take in its month of release, though it's gained 700 theaters. Yeah.
And I mean, Focus Pictures are generally like that too. That's kind of one of those indie houses that start small.
Mm-hmm. Just under $8.5 million brought in by it, and it's 4 weeks out. But like I said, this is the first week that it's kind of gotten some theaters. I think before it was not. It was only in 700 theaters, and it gained another 7. And then at number 6, finally out of the top 5, Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour.
Well, now we got the Beyonce movie on the horizon.
Oh, shit. $2.75 million brought in the last week. Its domestic take in its 6 weeks out, over $175 million. Across the world, it's brought in $250 million. Suck on that, Marvels. Yeah, take that one. And I saw a thing where Disney was trying to blame everyone else for the Marvels not working, and they're like, well, you just don't like that we have a woman director and a woman catered story and stuff.
Bullshit.
Look at Taylor Swift and Barbie. Those are clearly directed at a specific audience, and it worked. So, look at that one, Disney. And then coming in at number 5, also taken a bit of a dive here. Five Nights at Freddy's, $3.5 million brought in by it. In its 4 weeks out, $132 million across the globe, $272 million. Wow. Yeah.
It did way better than I think a lot of people thought it would. I think they knew it was going to do well, but I think they were gambling.
That's another one too. You can walk into any Walmart and find Five Nights at Freddy toys. I remember this game from forever ago, and it's super weird to me that it's taken off so much. But I guess it's like popular with streaming or something, maybe.
I mean, I tried to play it, and I was like, it's a video game. Like it didn't like pull me in and entrance me with all its wonderful characters and deep storyline.
It's just like a jump scare game.
I know. That's what I don't understand. It's like, how long has it been since, everybody has talked about a Zelda movie and we still haven't gotten one of those, and Five Nights at Freddy's is like, it's teddy bears to chop at you. And you're like, oh, yeah, let's make a movie of that.
Well, it's easier to do that because people that like to being scared, they change the story of that completely.
And no one cares.
And, hardly anyone cares. Like, that's not the story of the movie. And they're like,
dude,
were there killer robots that jumped at you? And they're like, well,
you make a Zelda movie.
Ganondorf was actually from the Hyrulean province of Skarsgård.
And you're like, oh, God, get out of here.
Yeah, well, it depends on which iteration of Ganon, but yeah, exactly. Coming in at number 4, dropping from that top spot, the Marvels brought in a surprising $10 million. And its domestic take, and its 2 weeks out, $65 million for the Marvels. Again, they got 300 more millions of those dollars to make before they even start to break even. So doesn't look like that's going to happen.
I mean, what was the
across the globe? It made another 100 million.
Yeah, so not great.
Which is what they normally see in these Marvel openings.
Yeah, opening weekend.
Yeah.
Adam Zimmerman on YouTube asks, "Is Zelda on the way?"
Yes,
it has been greenlit, and they are in pre-production now. So.
Yep. And then opening, all 3 of the top 3 were new. So opening at the 3rd spot, Thanksgiving. 10.3 million for the horror movie there. Not so bad.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for a horror movie. And then just above,
I think it's going to have another good weekend this weekend.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good going forward, just because everyone wants scary movies. That one seems to be the one that people want to watch. So
Thanksgiving. It's the trailer.
Yeah.
It just says Thanksgiving over and over and over.
I think that'll be the one that takes Five Nights at Freddy's spot until the next big horror movie comes in. The second movie, number 2 spot, goes to Trolls Band Together. $30 million for this one. Just over 30 million. So I guess it had a little bit of previews, or they're still figuring numbers out. But about 31 mil roundabout for Trolls Band Together. And I know it opened early overseas, so it's probably has a decent chunk of change. Yeah, $108 million brought in by it total across the globe. And then taking the top spot, the new Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, $44.6 million brought in by that one. Another 50 worldwide, so it's just at about 100 million total there. So not a bad start for that one. I imagine
a lot of competition this weekend, though. I mean, it's going to be a very stacked new holiday season in the theaters. Going back in the comments there on Twitch, Dina said that Thanksgiving has a whole lore because it's been anticipated for 15 years, which is true. Kind of like the Machete films they all came from the Grindhouse.
Was Thanksgiving one of the?
It was the other
ads
one
in the middle of the movies.
That's Thanksgiving.
Oh.
That was the other one, and everyone's like, "Well, why hasn't it gotten made?" And finally, it has. And as Beelzebub says, wasn't as good as the trailer was, but it was fun. And of course, like the trailer. That's a part of what. Same was with Machete. I didn't think that
then Machete changed how it was in the trailer.
Yeah, I didn't. The trailers were way better because they were just jokes. They didn't have to be any sort of continuity or story. Just show random clips of hilarious shit, and you got a winner.
I guess in Machete you get to see Steven Seagal get murked, though.
Yeah, that's true. Beelzebub says, how is there more Hunger Games? Because money, that's why.
Because prequels. They have the prequels that they can explore.
They did it for Harry Potter. They could do it for anything.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It worked out real well. Fantastic Beast or turds of movies for sure.
well, all right, guys. Well, that was the box office roundup, and that's the show. Yeah, we made it to the end. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever it is you prefer. We like Twitch. Twitch is cool. They pay us out. There's fun emotes and emojis, and they seem to have a more stable service than anyone. YouTube is a great place to find all of our older episodes if you want to watch them live. Or you could just download the audio version of the podcast wherever it is you get your podcast. And, feel free to share. We love it. Helps us keep the show alive. So there you go. Any parting words, Jake, before we it's Thanksgiving. What is your favorite, food item that you look forward to?
It's one of two things.
Okay. Number one.
Hey,
thanks for the sub, Dina.
I really like cranberry sauce.
I do too. I mean, it's a staple. Are you the straight gelatinous
Yes.
cylinder or the ones with the chunks in it?
The cylinder.
Okay.
I like the slices of the cylinder.
Okay.
I
I go either way. Sometimes I'll get a can of cylinder and a can of chunky, and I'll scramble them together. And,
there's an idea.
Yeah, it's best of both
I like the sliced can-shaped cranberry sauce and sweet potato pie.
sweet. Oh, pie, not casserole.
I think it's the same thing.
Well, no, the casserole is where it's hot and has the marshmallows on top, and you scoop it out. The pie is it's almost like a pumpkin pie, but it's made from sweet potato.
I've never seen it in that form.
You've
in
never
my
had
life. It's always just been.
Do you not have any black friends?
I sure do.
Ask them about sweet potato pie. Do you not remember when the Walmart landed on I can't remember who it was, the famous sweet potato pie, and she's a soul singer and broke the internet.
Patti LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle's sweet potato pie.
I bought that and ate that.
That's a sweet potato pie.
Yeah. We know someone that makes those.
Yeah.
Or well, she used to. She used to make them.
So yes, you have had that in that form, sweet potato pie.
That's the same.
No, the casserole, which is the hot goo with the marshmallow top, you put it in the oven, pull it out, and it's,
I'm gonna just simplify it. Sweet potatoes.
Sweet. Here, look, sweet potato casserole. This.
Yep. Sure enough.
That's not a pie.
Yeah, but that's what it's called, though.
No, this is called sweet potato casserole. Sweet potato pie is called sweet potato pie because it's in a fucking pie crust.
I don't know about that. Cheesecake is called cheesecake, but it's a pie.
Bro, are you for real, under God, telling me that you think sweet potato casserole and sweet potato pie are the exact same thing?
I mean, this is what it's always been called. I see it with my eyeballs. I see it. I'm witnessing.
This is sweet potato casserole.
Yeah.
And what do you think's going to happen when I type in sweet potato pie? Well, I'll be damned.
I don't know about that.
It all looks like not the other thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Mm-mm.
Are you telling me this is not real?
No, I mean it's. I'm seeing what you're saying, but
okay. Well,
listen, bro.
Sweet potatoes. You love sweet potato. What about a baked sweet potato? Do you ever fuck with that?
That's not really my scene.
You ever go to Logan's Roadhouse? And
I
you're
get sweet potato fries.
And you get the baked sweet potato with cinnamon sugar and butter.
No, I get candy apples or the apple cinnamon.
Apple cinnamon.
Cinnamon apples.
Right on. Well, one of the things
that's the move at a steakhouse.
I always look forward to is not the meal itself, but the Thanksgiving leftover sandwiches that I love to make. Like a little wheat toast, a little layer of dressing, a little layer of turkey, a little bit of cranberry, yeah, and then you get a little dip in the graves. Nom, 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 nom.
Turkey, cranberry with a little bit of Dijon.
Ooh.
That's the right kind of sandwich.
Yeah. I am looking forward to those.
Put that between a King's Hawaiian roll.
Oh, so for the Christmas,
you're talking to some boys that eat right here.
Yeah, we're like movies anyway, but food now. For my Christmas Eve celebration that we always do, we make those holiday sliders, like ham and Swiss and turkey and cheddar, or whatever sliders. This year, I want to make Thanksgiving leftover sliders where it's turkey, a little bit of gravy, a little bit of cranberry sauce, but on a sweet Hawaiian bun. But I've got an idea.
Gravy though, I don't know about
Just like a little touch, like in the middle, so it's like got some moisture. Kind of like I'd use like it were a condiment.
Like giblet gravy?
Like no, just enough to get the bun.
Giblet gravy or brown gravy?
Not just regular brown gravy. And then instead of, you know how like when you bake the sweet Hawaiian rolls, you like put the butter on the top or whatever. I want to get one of the packets from a box of stovetop stuffing, like the herb packet, and mix it with butter and brush it on the top of the buns. Bro, can you imagine the flavor explosion that's going to come out of them buns? Wait a minute. Oh, man. Dina says, Bo, we need to have a panettone exchange since I'm homeless this year. Yeah, where do I send this panettone? Like,
That's like a Christmas thing, isn't it? Or is that Thanksgiving? Christmas.
Well, it was a Thanksgiving feat of strength that I did for a drive-in speaker box tavern trivia one
I was
time.
there. I attempted.
Yeah, so the panettone, it is. Dina was the winner of that challenge, and almost every single year since, I have left panettones on her doorstep.
Generally, after one of those, I'm not able to eat the food that I tried to eat, except for the one time where I was like, "You're not getting me this time," because I'd eaten too many, and then it was chicken nuggets, and I was like, "Bruh."
But you got to do the chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and then Chandler did it, and he was too skinny to eat them. And I was like,
my favorite one was because it was the year after the chicken nugget feat of strength, and everybody's like,
Why is it gotta be so meaty? Why can't you do something that's
Oh,
more
that-
friendly to the
that
vegetarians?
was the good one, though. I was so bummed it wasn't me eating those because I could have just
because you remember what the year after that was, right? My answer
candy corn.
No, it was cauliflower.
Oh.
I got those enormous heads of cauliflower, and oh man, and the staff at Smoking Barrel, like, my God, it smelled like farts in there.
Dude,
so bad.
Cauliflower is like a broccoli's fart. It's awful. I can't. See, that's why I quit being the volunteer for that.
Oh man, that was such a good one.
The one time I didn't do it, it was chicky nugs, and then every other time it was like
Cauliflower, circus peanuts.
yeah, the
cordial
circus
cherries.
peanuts one. I tried. Oh yeah, chocolate covered cherries is a gift I get every Christmas. My family gives me chocolate
And I
covered cherries,
just tried to
and
give-
after that, I was like, for a year or two, I could not touch chocolate covered cherries, and everyone's like, "Yeah, but we always get you chocolate covered cherries." I'm like, I can't.
And you go, blame Bo.
Yeah, Bo ruined it for me.
Oh, it's so good. Well, all right, gang.
I tried that one too.
Maybe I just need to bring that tradition back at
I almost
Pinpoint,
won that
just
one.
a feat of strength, and give away a turkey. I don't have to do trivia for that. I could just show up and do a feat of strength. This is okay. Okay.
Which one of you turkeys wants to win a turkey?
That's right. Well, stay tuned to the Pinpoint Instagram to see if I actually make that a reality or not, because I have 2 days to do it. Because if it's going to happen, it's going to go down on Wednesday. So I guess it just depends on if Sam's Club still has any turkeys right now. So anyway, all right. Well, on that note, our show's over. So thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
See ya.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.